Welcome to this deep dive, where we take compelling information and really unpack it for you. Today we're looking at something truly inspiring, I think. It's the experiences of parents and students involved in Jill Dixon's EAL program.
EAL, yeah. And what's really striking is just the sheer amount of positive feedback, isn't it?
It really is. We've gathered testimonials from, well, current parents, former parents, and past students, too. Their stories, they're genuinely exciting, lots of growth, achievement.
Absolutely. We've got a real wealth of firsthand accounts here. And it's interesting how consistent the enthusiasm is. People point to very specific ways they feel EAL, that's EAL, has benefited their families, their kids' education.
Right.
So our goal today really is to delve into these experiences, try to understand the impact this program's having straight from the folks who've lived it.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start maybe with the foundational years, the experiences of parents whose kids were in the earlier stages of the EAL program.
Good place to start.
We have words from Becky Kramer. Sadly, she's no longer with us, but she was, by all accounts, a very strong supporter of EAL. Both of her children are graduates. That really says something, doesn't it? That level of belief in the program.
It certainly does. And building on that, Debbie McConnell's story, wow, it really gives a sense of the program's staying power.
Yeah.
Her children were involved for 9 years. 9 years, started with creative writing.
Wow.
She says they've become good writers, they love books, and writing essays is like no big deal for them now.
Yeah.
It really points to that long-term cultivation of skills.
9 years is a huge commitment, and it's great to hear Debbie felt it was, time and money really well invested.
Yeah.
She mentions EAL covered a lot English, literature, history, but also things like character, respect, love for learning. And she liked the hands-on stuff, how it worked for different learning styles.
That's key, isn't it? The flexibility.
Definitely. And interestingly, she saw big gains in vocabulary and language skills. She actually put that down to the curriculum, including Greek and Latin roots.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
And beyond the academics, she specifically called out Mrs. Jill's kindness, her genuine care for the students.
So what we're starting to see, I think, is a picture of EAL as, well, more than just hitting the books.
Right.
Debbie's comments suggest this sort of comprehensive approach values the intellectual growth and personal development.
Exactly. And Donna Gallagher seems to back that up. Her kid's a college freshman now, apparently handles essay writing confidently because of Mrs. Jill's class.
That's practical, lasting skill right there.
And her son. Smoother transition to high school. Writing wasn't this dreaded thing anymore. It sounds like EAL builds skills and confidence through encouragement.
Yeah, that confidence piece keeps coming up. And Devin Hope, her kids did EAL for 4 years. She called it the glue.
The glue, wow.
Yeah, the glue holding their homeschooling together. That's powerful imagery, isn't it?
It really is.
She saw her kids gain confidence in public speaking. They explored interests creatively, started writing and reading for fun, for knowledge, not just assignments.
That's fantastic.
And she liked Jill's approach, gentle but firm. Seems like a good balance.
Absolutely. It's fascinating how many parents mention that confidence boost. Kay Anderson, she homeschools for 9 years, strongly recommends the class, says it makes learning fun, builds students up.
Fun and builds them up. Good combo.
She liked how subjects meshed history, literature, art, all woven together.
That interdisciplinary thing, maybe that's part of the magic, makes it more engaging.
Could be. Kay really stressed the impact on essay and research paper writing. Said it was invaluable for her daughter in a tough high school.
Preparation for what's next.
Yeah. And her son, still in the class, is getting the same benefits. She describes Mrs. Jill as gifted, patient, understanding, talented, making the class interesting, challenging, but also encouraging, uplifting. She even said Mrs. Jill taught her kids to believe in themselves. That's huge. Goes way beyond just academics.
That really speaks to that nurturing environment we're hearing about. Seems like a hallmark of EAL.
Yeah.
And Joy Tusaroni adds her strong recommendation too. Positive results for both her kids.
Okay.
She specifically mentioned the curriculum making creative writing enjoyable. One child went into private high school, really well prepared in that area.
So it's not just foundational skills, but fostering that creative spark, too.
Exactly. Seems like it.
Okay, so summing up these early years, we're seeing strong foundations, real enthusiasm for learning being ignited, and this noticeable increase in student confidence.
Yeah, pretty consistent picture emerging.
Now let's shift gears a bit. How does EAL prepare students for, the challenges of high school and what comes after?
Right, the next step.
Teresa Smith, mother of 2 high schoolers. They'd been in public school before. She admitted she was a bit nervous about homeschooling initially,
Understandable.
but she quickly found EAL was, quote, the right fit for them.
That suggests EAL is pretty adaptable then. Good for kids coming from different backgrounds.
Seems like it. And Stephanie Bargeron, her 2 daughters started in 5th grade. She's got a great success story. The older one, a senior doing dual enrollment,
Oh, wow.
excels in college-level writing and history. She says both girls developed a real passion for history and writing through Jill's curriculum.
Fostering that deeper engagement, not just ticking boxes. That's impressive.
And Wendy Nichols' story gives us some really concrete examples of long-term success. Her 3 kids in Jill Dixon's classes since the program basically started.
Okay, long-term perspective here.
Her older 2 transitioned seamlessly into private high school, excelled in English and history. Get this. The oldest scored a 5, a perfect score, on the Western Civ AP exam.
Wow, a 5. That's fantastic.
Got a gold medal in American history, did well on the English AP, English SAT, ended up entering college with 15 credits already banked.
15 credits. That's a serious head start.
Seriously, and she points out even her second child, who had some attention challenges, performed at grade level, scored well on the English writing SAT sections.
So it works across different learning styles and needs, it sounds like.
Yeah. And her youngest, homeschooled right through graduation with EAL, scored like an A on the SEAL EP freshman comp exam. Started college as a sophomore in honors English, got a high B.
Okay, so consistently strong results across the board for her family.
What Wendy also mentioned, which I found really interesting, was that her kids got exposed to more classic literature than their private school peers.
More. That's surprising.
Yeah. And often their summer reading assignments, already covered in EAL.
Efficient.
She credits the program with teaching them clear writing and communication, fostering a real love of reading. Plus, the group setting meant public speaking practice, even Shakespeare performances.
Wow, Shakespeare.
And they love the history and literature festivals. Wendy's bottom line, EAL was the best college prep they could have had for their homeschooling family. Saved them time and money in college.
That really paints EAL as academically rigorous and enriching, doesn't it? Cultural opportunities, strong communication skills.
Absolutely. Now, let's maybe touch on experiences where parents specifically sought out EAL for particular learning needs.
Right. How does it handle those situations?
Catherine Martin called EAL and Mrs. Jill life-changing for her son. She emphasized the multisensory approach really helped his learning and retention.
Multisensory. Okay, so adapting methods is part of it.
Seems so.
Oh.
And Abby Lowry's son also benefited hugely. She specifically said the curriculum was easy to modify for his needs.
Easily modified. That's
Yeah.
important flexibility for homeschooling parents.
Definitely. His vocabulary skills shot up. He enjoyed the classroom activities, which boosted their home learning. And get this, Abby is now the director of the Mesquite, Texas EAL.
Wow. From parent to director, that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
And then there's CL's testimonial about her son. He's dyslexic and dysgraphic. She called EAL a major turning point.
A turning point for dyslexia and dysgraphia, that's significant.
Yeah. She says he now enjoys learning because the teaching is creative. He's starting to master writing, organize thoughts, use the rules. He went from dreading writing to enjoying sharing his work.
That's incredible progress. Highlights the power of the right approach, the right support.
These stories really show, I think, the dedication of Mrs. Jill and the team to figuring out and meeting individual student needs.
Seems very student-centered.
Okay, shifting again slightly, what about the community aspect, the overall family experience?
Right, the social side, the support network.
Aubrey Ward says her kindergartner and second grader love EAL's Explorer class. It's the highlight of their homeschool week.
Highlight of the week. That's great to hear.
She likes the material, the structure, the accountability, but also the flexibility. They're planning on sticking with it for years.
That feeling of community, it keeps coming up as a positive. Elizabeth Ragsdale praises the curriculum, literary canon, world history.
Solid foundations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she also loves how it offers a varied experience that works for all learning styles. She sees kids developing critical thinking, writing, reading comprehension, cultural knowledge.
The whole package.
Right. And she credits Mrs. Jill's own passion for learning and her dedication to the students as being key. She feels grateful to have found this gem.
A gem. Nice. Rebecca Lucius, first-year homeschooling, called EAL a huge blessing.
A blessing, okay.
She was relieved the curriculum was provided took away off her shoulders. appreciated the guidance, the support from teachers and other parents.
The community support again.
Yeah. And for her daughter, it was a needed social outlet, plus that weekly accountability, something she actually looked forward to.
Paula Krebs echoes that gratitude. Says her family's been so blessed by their 4 years. Thanks, Jill, for her know-how, love, guidance, and encourages others to check it out.
Leslie McGinty calls EAL invaluable for their homeschooling. Highly recommends the comprehensive program thorough, engaging, accommodates different learning styles, values the facilitator's commitment and kindness, providing accountability and motivation.
Invaluable. Strong word.
Kristen Lawrence summed it up neatly. Small community, big results.
Oh, I like that. Catchy.
Said it bridged learning gaps for her girls, brought school back to life for them.
Reignited enthusiasm. That's great.
Mark McGarity, first year, nothing but good things to say. Praised Jill and the team for making the curriculum easy to use while delivering an exceptional classroom experience. Already excited for next year.
Good sign when first-year families are already hooked.
Definitely. And Emily Davidson, she said she probably wouldn't still be homeschooling without EAL.
Wow. That's a powerful endorsement.
Called it the perfect mix. Structure, accountability, flexibility. Impressed with how the curriculum can be tailored. Her kids love history because of how EAL teaches it. And she loves the school friends, the community aspect, while still homeschooling.
Best of both worlds, maybe.
It seems like it for her. Tiffany McCann gave a really strong endorsement too, called EAL, the best college prep curriculum and instruction she's seen, even compared to private schools.
Better than private schools. High praise.
And she mentioned the wholesome, safe Christian learning environment. Chris Nolan, 3 years with EAL, loves the history-based approach integrating everything: language arts, writing, art, public speaking.
That integration seems really central.
Yeah, accountability, structure, helpful, kids excited to go, big benefit for her, community and lifelong friendships.
Those connections matter, don't they?
For sure. Christy Bryson called it a thoughtful program, educating the whole child with accessible classic literature. Highlighted the nurturing environment, caring teachers, said her kids thrived academically and socially. Wonderful experience, wonderful community.
Educating the whole child. That comes through again and again.
Lori Triplett liked the clear direction, the cohesive curriculum. Let her focus on individual kids' needs. Teachers prioritized personalized learning with flexibility, saw big improvements in vocabulary, writing. Kids enjoy the art, projects, reading.
Flexibility seems to be a real strength.
Okay, and now some from Mesquite, Texas. Lauren Helton went looking for accountability, found much more. Kind, passionate teachers. Kids loved the projects, experiments. She enjoys relearning history alongside them.
Bonus for the parents, too.
Right. Staff meets kids where they are, encourages their best. Biblical worldview woven in. Called it their most productive homeschool year yet.
Productive and enjoyable, sounds like.
Lisa Helm, also Mesquite, great first year. Engaging work, girls love studying ancient civilizations. Hands-on activities, dynamic teaching, bring it to life. Teachers care. EAL pushes kids to think critically, ask questions, dig deeper, Christ-centered, excited for next year.
Critical thinking, digging deeper. That's excellent preparation.
And one more from Mesquite, Megan Colvin. Wonderful first year, incredible integrated curriculum, amazing required literature tied to history. Writing was a struggle for her fourth grader. But using history as the base made it enjoyable. Incredible teachers, friends. Her son loves school again.
Made writing enjoyable for a struggler. That's a huge win. These testimonials, wow, they paint such a consistent picture of a really positive, supportive, effective community.
They really do, a powerful picture. So let's switch focus now to the former students themselves. What's the long-term impact?
Yeah. What do the graduates say?
Megan Cobb took Mrs. Jill's English in 7th grade. Great experience, vocabulary, grammar, even wrote a book. Said it hugely encouraged her writing ambitions.
Read a book in 7th grade. Cool.
She went on to graduate college, summa cum laude.
And guess what?
She's using the Greek and Latin roots from Mrs. Jill's class now to prep for the GRE.
No way. Years later. That's amazing retention and application.
Isn't it? Direct, lasting benefit right there.
Absolutely.
Ashley Anderson was in Mrs. Jill's class from 3rd to 8th grade, now in 11th. Feels she benefited hugely academically, socially, personally. Loved how subjects tied together.
Okay.
Felt exceptionally well prepared for Savannah Arts Academy, a rigorous high school. She was actually shocked that her high school classmates didn't know how to cite sources for a big research paper. Something she'd been doing since 7th grade, and EAL essays for her were, quote, a breeze.
That speaks volumes about the level of preparation. Doing citations in 7th grade, wow.
Yeah. She says Mrs. Jill taught her priceless life lessons and academic knowledge, prepared her for high school and life. Highly recommends it.
More than just academics again. Life lessons.
Jason McConnell sees Jill Dixon's classes as a major part of his education. Said the critical skills, writing techniques, literary exposure, vocabulary put him far beyond his college peers.
Far beyond. Strong claim.
Yeah. Said it gave him an undying love of the written word. Described Mrs. Jill as emphatic, gracious, firm but loving. A real presence.
Sounds like a very impactful teacher.
And Cadence Tillman. EAL changed how she looked at school. She used to have a lot of anxiety about schoolwork, but gained confidence and knowledge through EAL. Said the understanding, kind teachers, Mrs. Jill included, made learning positive for her.
So it helped overcome anxiety and build confidence. That's wonderful.
It's really rewarding hearing how EAL didn't just teach skills, but fostered that confidence, that genuine love for learning.
Yeah, these student stories are powerful.
Okay, finally, let's look at some tangible tested results. Numbers, scores.
Right, the proof in the pudding, so to speak.
Kristen Morris, 2 years in the program, still seeing benefits. She scored a perfect 800 on the SAT critical reading
800, perfect score.
and a 710 on writing. Got an A in her college English 1102 class. Found EAL skills helped with her college application essays, too. Highest recommendation.
Those are stellar scores.
Wow.
Direct reflection of that language arts foundation.
Absolutely. Berkeley Griffin wrote to thank Mrs. Jill for teaching him to write. He got a 101 on his first college English paper at Bryan College.
A 101. How do you get a 101? Bonus points.
Must have been. He said his investment in EAL really paid off.
Clearly.
And then there's Donna Winters, the parent whose child really struggled with writing before EAL.
Right, the turnaround story.
After remedial work at EAL, the child went into public school, passed the Georgia high school graduation test for writing with strong marks in everything: content, organization, style, conventions, sentence formation.
Wow. After struggling significantly before.
Yeah. Donna's reaction was basically, is this the same kid? And then kudos to you, to Miss Jill in EAL.
That's incredible. And let's not forget CL's son with special needs, the progress in writing, the engagement. It really underscores EAL's ability to make a difference for all sorts of learners.
Definitely.
The message across all these testimonials, parents and students, is just overwhelmingly positive, isn't it?
It really is. Across all 34 endorsements we looked at, the benefits of Jill Dixon's EAL program, that's EAL, they seem clear, compelling. We've heard about strong writing skills, essays, research papers, excellent prep for college-level work, MLA format, critical reading, effective writing.
Yeah, the practical skills.
Increased confidence, enjoying learning, that strong community feel, and its adaptability for different learning styles, how it supports homeschooling.
It really seems to tick a lot of boxes for these families.
Absolutely. So for any parent listening, if you're looking for a learning environment that, well, seems to genuinely cultivate academic excellence, build self-assurance, ignite that passion for learning,
Yeah.
we'd strongly encourage you, based on what we've heard today, to seriously consider EAL enrollment for your kids.
It certainly sounds like, from these accounts, a worthwhile experience, a good investment of time, and financially beneficial too, based on the outcomes these people shared.
Right. It's all coming directly from the EAL community members themselves. So maybe just take a moment. Imagine the possibilities for your child's academic path, their overall development, inspired by these powerful, consistent stories we've just heard.
Yeah. It's clear that Jill Dixon EAL, is making a really profound positive difference for these students and their families.